AD, baby. Been hunting this bear all week.
I grunted at him. He come running back in. We just smoked another giant.
Just an absolute giant. Lifetime bull for me.
Team 200 is presented by MoonGuide. Plan your best hunt.
This team I've put together and the show is not about filling tags. This is about hunting the most mature animal in your area, no matter what you're chasing, no matter where you're hunting.
200 is about hunting the biggest animals in your area.
Obviously, that's the #1 buck on our hit list.
To me, it's about finding an animal that is fully mature and harvesting that particular animal.
So that when that moment comes, you're gonna be able to feel that success of all that hard work.
You know, 150 to 160 inch deer, that's a good whitetail, but that 200 inch deer, when you see that deer, your heart sings, you know, because they're so far and few between, and I've only seen one.
If you take anything away from this, it's that you don't have to shoot an animal to have a successful season. It's about playing the game with some of the most amazing creatures on the face of this earth.
The mindset is to go after the biggest you can in your area and not compromise or settle for anything else.
Smoke.
Adam Hayes knows the commitment it takes to hunt mature animals. From his home state of Ohio to the Edmonton Bow Zone, dedication and persistence is what you need to have during a long, strenuous season.
I was starting my season off in Canada, heading up to Wollaston Lake looking for a big black bear. Now I've taken 5 or 6 black bears with my bow, but I still haven't been able to break that 21-inch mark and kill a Boone and Crockett black bear. But if there's any place to do it, it's definitely Wollaston Lake, and Mike Lemke asked me up for my second hunt up there. I can't think of a trip that's more fun, more relaxing, and just more than an adventure than going up to Canada, doing some pike and walleye fishing, and chasing some giant black bears.
We got a little secret weapon too. Exclusive formula, the Bear Whisperer from Conquest. There's been lots of stuff moving tonight. Had a white wolf across the lake walking on the rocks a little bit ago, and then we just had a little white wolf pup about 20 yards to my left here. Definitely not what we're looking for as far as the bear goes, but we know there's a bigger one in here, so hopefully he's going to show up tonight. I'm ready for part 2. I'm back in the same stand where I shot my big bear last year.
Old Luminok did the trick. What an animal. What a big, big bear. I can hardly lift his head up.
As soon as I got done filming my recovery, okay, climbed up in the stand. It wasn't a minute later. Seems I was a little premature. And guess who shows up on pulling the trigger? The biggest bear I've ever seen.
Adam came in here yesterday and shot a great bear and had this one in front of him and wanted to see a chocolate color phase bear and let this bear walk. Thought he came back and shot a different one that had a messed up ear. What you got to say, man?
Congratulations.
This caliber animal, whether it's whitetail, elk, whatever, when you get into these kind of animals, it's just a whole nother level.
It is the biggest of the species laying right here in front of us.
I can't believe it. We've got a
giant deer on the ground. By far the biggest buck I've ever killed.
And I had a Ozonics pointed. He didn't pick up anything. Gave me a 30-yard shot.
Thank God I have an Ozonics. Start seeing more deer more often and closer than you ever thought possible with Ozonics. Ozonics is the only product that actively and continually attacks game spooking odor in the downwind airstream during your entire hunt, allowing you to beat an animal's #1 defense, its nose. Adam Hayes is hunting black bears in Saskatchewan at Wollaston Lake. It's his last hunt of the trip before he heads back to Ohio for whitetail season.
It's a nice bear. 18 to 19 inches, but not what I'm looking for.
Even though I didn't harvest a bear on my trip to Wollaston Lake, I had a great hunt. I had a great opportunity at a really nice bear, but it just wasn't what I was looking for. But I'm excited to get back home, check my trail cameras, and when I get back, sure enough, there he is. It's a big, wide, heavy 8-point, split G2s, big drop tine. I mean, this is a mature animal, and he looks like he's probably in that 170 to 180 range. You know, he's not a 200-inch deer, but this is the biggest buck I've seen all summer. You know, he's coming in, he's hitting the mineral. I've got the food plot set up, and I can't wait for season to open up here in a couple weeks. The bad news is he comes through one night and then he disappears. So I've got no other big deer to chase, so I'm heading to Illinois for the opener. This last couple years I've been chasing a giant 8-point in Illinois, and this last spring I came across something while I was shed hunting that no trophy hunter wants to see.
This is not what you want to find on your spring shed hunt. A giant non-typical I've been after for a couple years here in Illinois. This is one of the bucks I had on trail camera back in August or September.
I can't tell you how disappointing it was to find that big deer dead, so I really wasn't sure what to expect this year in Illinois.
A couple nice 3-year-olds come under me last night, but a lot of old scrapes around these bean fields, but nothing fresh.
You know, I'm coming to the end of my hunt in Illinois. It's the last night of my hunt, and I finally get a look at a big buck. That big 10-point came out at about 70 yards, just out of my effective range on the last night of my hunt. So I'm heading to Kansas. I finally got some big deer showing up on trail camera out there. And I'm looking forward to getting out there and hunting with my good buddy Chris Seymour.
First night in Kansas. We got pictures of a big 12-point. Hitting a big scrape right down here. Came in here with Chris. As soon as I got him down, checked this camera and he was in here last night. It's great to be back in Kansas.
It's the end of October. We've got a great moon. I've got a great big 12-point to hunt, but I just can't put it together. I move in on one spot where I get a picture of him and he shows up in a different spot.
Been pretty warm yesterday, today, tomorrow, even though it's raining, it's high 60s, low 70s.
I think it's real tough to kill deer consistently out of state, but I really think you have to have the time to be successful when you hunt out of state. You got to commit and maybe put in a little bit extra time to hunt those big whitetails.
Now, I've been chasing this 12-point for almost 2 weeks, and I haven't laid eyes on this deer other than my trail camera, and I'm out of time. So I've got to get back home, get packed, because I got a trip scheduled to Canada to meet up with Justin. You know, it's been really warm up in Alberta until the day I get there, and then bam, cold front, 20 below zero. As soon as I step off the plane, Justin picks me up and he wants to know how quick I can get ready. It's rocking, the deer are moving, the rut's kicking in, the temperatures have finally dropped, and the big deer are on their feet. From the deer farm to your front door, raw frozen scents are as fresh as you can get. Raw is 100% pure deer urine collected from real deer. Immediately after the collection process, raw scents are quickly frozen, then shipped directly to you in an insulated cooler so you get it raw, fresh, and pure. Raw frozen scents, always fresh, no water, no preservatives, and 100% money-back guarantee. As soon as I step off the plane, Justin picks me up and he wants to know how quick I can get ready. So I'm looking to get a couple hours in stand on my first night in the bow zone.
In my experience of hunting big whitetails at home, the best chance of killing a big buck is either patterning him early or waiting till the end of the rut when those extreme temperatures of -20, -30 are going to drive those deer to feed and get them up and moving.
Well, it's my first night here in the bow zone hunting with Justin. He's been seeing some good deer in here and he just hung this stand for me yesterday. It's only about 20 below zero.
I mean, it is bone-chilling cold. I can't even put into words how cold it is. And the temperature's dropping every day. It's only going to get worse. I can't believe it. First night in the bow zone, and I got a big buck on the ground.
It's about 15 below zero. And I'm freezing, but I've only been in the stand for an hour. I just smoked a giant. Just watch Adam smoke a big Alberta whitetail.
This is one of the bucks that Justin had been watching. He's a mature animal. He offered me a great shot on the first night, and I wasn't passing him up.
That was awesome, man. That worked out great. I can't believe it was only here an hour. Man, I can't thank you enough, Justin. That was fast and furious.
And I couldn't be happier to finally break the ice on a big buck up in the Edmonton bow zone.
For over 2 decades, the MoonGuide has been the #1 rated tool for serious hunters, telling you when giant whitetails will move and where you need to hunt. Now, you can accurately predict the best days and times to catch a big buck moving during daylight with the Deer Hunter's MoonGuide. Are you tired of hunting nocturnal trail camera bucks? Do you ever wonder why some bucks only show up during daylight on certain days each year? The Deer Hunter's MoonGuide is here to help, and it's unlike any other lunar tool you've ever seen. For effective preseason scouting, scheduling time off work, planning out-of-state hunts, and increasing your overall hunting success, simply check the MoonGuide's calendar to find the best days, times, and hunting locations to catch a mature deer on his feet during daylight hours. The MoonGuide is now available as a mobile app too, giving you exclusive tips from the pros, local weather, the rut guide, exclusive discounts, and the deadly red moon data. Plan your best hunt at moonguide.com. After a successful hunt in the Edmonton bow zone, Adam Hayes is back in Ohio hunting a giant 8-point with a drop tine. This buck has been nocturnal, and Adam hopes the cold weather will get him on his feet.
I think the cold weather and the snow followed me.
You know, the rut's winding down. It's the end of November and still no big 8. We got some weather coming in, a big cold front. You know, I move in one afternoon, the middle of the day, a bunch of snow forecasted, and guess what? Middle of the day, bam, there he is. This is my first look at this buck on the hoof, and he's an absolute giant. He's a big, wide, heavy 8-point, big drop tine, and this is the first drop tine buck I've been after, and he's out of range. The good thing is he's finally in my spot. I'm gonna wait till I get the perfect opportunity to get a crack at this buck. Now, I've never hunted a tougher animal in my life. I mean, this buck has been completely nocturnal other than one sighting in November. This buck's still hitting the food plot on a regular basis, so I know he's in my area, but he just won't move during daylight.
One of the toughest things about hunting mature whitetails is staying mentally focused. There's a ton of things that can go wrong. If you're hunting a particular deer, you can start second guessing yourself because you're not seeing him, so you start bouncing around the different stands. You start scouting too much, checking cameras too much. The one thing you have to do is develop a plan and stick with it.
The biggest thing I've taken from Adam Hayes is really the moon concept. You know, the fact that he hunts and a lot of his success has been on these red days, these overhead and underfoot moon times.
I can't believe after 3 months of chasing this buck, I finally get my opportunity and he jumps string on me and I don't kill him. I cannot believe it. This is not the way this story's supposed to end.
The shot looked perfect. But he jumped string on me and he turned really hard. And it didn't look like it had any penetration.
I blew it. I had my opportunity. And with 2 weeks of season left, I'm probably not going to get another chance.
In archery hunting, you know, you go through those ups and downs, that roller coaster of emotion, you know, that all that preparation and those hours. The key is to be able to try to harness those emotions so that they don't get the best of you and so that you can finish your season on a successful note.
Hopefully it's just a minor flesh wound and won't kill him and he's going to survive. But the season's almost over and he's been hard enough to get an arrow in, let alone now. So it's not good.
I put a broadhead in this buck's shoulder 2 weeks ago, and I'm thinking I'm never going to get another crack at this deer. I'm coming down to the last few days of season. We've still got extreme temperatures, and I can't believe it. There he is. This buck is not having any of it. He's standing 90 yards outside the food plot, waits until it's completely dark, and then decides to come in. He's not taking any chances. He's in survival mode, and it just isn't meant to be. Even though I only shot one deer this year, man, had an incredible season. It's just a rare treat to be able to chase a big mature whitetail like that for the entire season. And even though I never got that deer on the ground, I got quite a consolation picking up both of his sheds, and I'm just hoping that next year he's going to be even bigger and he's going to be right back in there and I'm going to get to chase that deer again.
Hopefully he makes it through this long, tough, cold winter that we're having and he's even bigger next year. But what a buck and what a hunt. My hat's off to him. He beat me this year, that's for sure.